Hey guys, hope you're having a nice day, and let's go ahead and I guess watch a replay of Chromie on Brex's Holdout. I mean, this is like Brex's Holdout was always kind of Chromie's strongest map because there are always lots and lots of opportunities to land your skill shots, right? And man, it went well. Like this game, like this was actually an unranked draft, and I was kind of playing with my friends, and I didn't even expect like this game to go as well as it did. So like spoilers, I was just stomping people as Chromie. Like we got so many stacks early game. I actually went for the full Sandblast build. Actually, like one of my viewers suggested it to me, and like it worked like really crazy. Like if you get it going, it's just mind blowing. Like one of the talents that actually made it for me was the level 14 talent, fast forward, right? I never thought that talent was any good. But with the whole changes to Sandblast and how that works, like that talent is just straight up broken right now. If you can get your stacks, and man, it will be fun. So like right now we are just kind of brawling in the bot lane, more or less. Like there are, as you can see, there are 4 people here, so you have lots of targets to land your skill shots. Also they have Rhaegar, who is not that great at dealing with poke damage, and they have Keltas, who has the largest hitbox out of all mages. For some reason he has a very wide rope, you know, like when you hit his ropes it actually kills him. But yeah, it's been like, so like because there are so many people out there, and because like they have Garrosh, who is actually okay with tanking like a couple of shots to the face, they won't be dodging my skill shots too much, and I will have a great time stacking. So like right now already we have 18 stacks, and we already got 4 hits with our mounting sand. So that's 4 extra stacks for your Q that you would otherwise not have, and in other words that extra 20 damage that we have, 25, 30 right now. So like it's just gonna keep going like this, and like right now we are kind of not winning any fights so much, right? Because like we are at the point right now where I'm the only damage dealer bottom. We have Varian and the Haka who can maybe like catch somebody, but they won't really offer too much damage, right? So everything is kind of reliant on me to get like, to at least bring somebody down to 20% health or something like that, so that my teammates can finish them off. And right now I just don't have the damage to do that. Also, I apparently can't pick talents until level 3 because I'm a bad Chromie. So at level 4 we picked up Timely Surprise. Every time our time trap is triggered, all of our cooldowns get reset. So with proper positioning of your time traps, you can get like double the Dragon's Breath and double the Sandblast. Although very often what happens is actually like I put a time trap, I cast my Sandblast, and somebody triggers the time trap while I'm casting my Sandblast. So what actually happens is that my Sandblast goes on cooldown, and like it doesn't get reset because Sandblast was cast after the time trap was triggered, you know? So that's kind of lame. By the way, there was a Genji kind of dived me, and I tried to sidestep a bit like in front of the gates. I took a lot of damage from his auto attacks, but what I was trying to achieve there is to dodge his Swift Strike, because if he doesn't have a clear like skill shot for his Swift Strike, like clear, I guess, line of sight for his skill, like if I don't move in a straight line so that he would aim his Swift Strike super easily, that way either he risks missing it and just dying to a fort or something like that, or he just won't cast it. Like in that scenario he decided not to cast it to stay safe and all of that. I'm sorry about the mouse cursor, by the way. I can't really do. I guess I could like make it disappear completely, but that wouldn't be nice. They are diving me a lot here, like Genji actually putting a lot of pressure on me, so I have to play super defensively and stay kind of safe. But I'm still finding like opportunities to land my Sandblasts, and that's nice. Like we actually reset some of our combos a couple of times this game, but that's like not too big of a deal because again this is Brex's, so I can just start ramping them up almost immediately there. Okay, I feel like this is the time where we will start killing them. I actually don't remember this game like precisely, right? But I think stuff is gonna be happening right now. So like at this point we have 60 stacks at level 6. 60 stacks, like that's what? It's 300 extra damage? It's 300 extra damage at level 6 when people's like health bars are less than 2000. That's crazy. That's crazy amount of damage. Oh, right there I missed my Sandblast. Complete reset on my stacks. So by the way, if you don't know, Sandblast got changed in the recent patch. Now it actually has a never-ending quest in it. So every time you hit somebody with a Sandblast, it gets 5 extra damage, and consecutive hits get 10 extra damage. And if you get a level 1 talent Mounting Sand, if you land 3 consecutive hits or more, it counts as 3 stacks, so it counts as 15 extra damage. So that's actually pretty damn crazy. So I'm gonna go top, I think. At least I pinged that I'm gonna go top, and we're gonna try to help out Nazibo, who doesn't even need our help. Yeah, that was nice. And we are going to be so this is why Braxis is one of the this is the other reason why Braxis is such a good map for Chromie. They are contesting that like beacon point, right? So I know exactly where they will be standing, and I can just aim skill shots in the center of it and it will hit something. So that's, I mean, again, this is crazy. I'm 78 stacks in, like we are level 8 and I'm almost done with my Sandblast quest. It is absolutely crazy. Varian died, sadly, but that should be okay. I mean, like Garrosh caught him, so there is not much he could have done there. I'm just, at this point, I'm just randomly casting Sandblast, trying to hit them, because I have a lot of damage, so at this point I don't really care much about stacking my Sandblast. I know that if a teamfight starts, I will get some stacks, but at this point it matters a lot more to get like the damage in, rather than like to be a greedy Chromie. And right there, we just finished our quest, level 9. Oh my god, that felt great. Like, it's just broken. Like, Chromie can be so broken. Garrosh used his unstoppable talent, his level 4 talent choice there, which was a right choice for Garrosh. When you are playing against Chromie, that's probably something you want to be doing. And I think I started missing lots of skill shots at this point too, because I mean, I got a bit complacent about them and I was just, you know what, I don't care, I have all of my stacks now, so I'm just gonna do damage. And yeah, like, we completed the quest, but that doesn't mean that our damage gain stops. Like, the more we hit, the more damage we get, and still our mounting sand and all of that still works. So we can get like 15 extra damage per hit. It's like an Asmodan that never ends. Taste for blood, that's what I mean. And even like, we are just putting so much pressure onto our enemies. Even without like hitting the skill shots, we actually force them to retreat. We chunked Keltas for 40% of his health bar there with one Sandblast. So like, at this point, if we hit like Keltas with our Sandblast and our clones Sandblast, that's by the way what you get when you complete the quest. You get a clone that does 40% of your damage, I think. Yeah, 40%. And obviously you can aim it in such a way that like your skill shots would be really hard to dodge. Like, you don't always want to be aiming like to pinpoint the skill shot direction for you and your clone. Sometimes you want to kind of split them, so that when the enemies sidestep to the side a bit, either your clone or you hit your Sandblast, and that's good enough, I feel like. Again, I'm just spamming my skill shots at this point. We have lots of damage. Skill shots don't really cost any mana, not skill shots, but like Sandblast. There I didn't expect the taunt from Varian. I could have killed that Kalatas easily. That was in fact a really good engage, like a really good catch by Varian, but because I was kind of a bit distracted and not ready to follow up, I wasn't really able to do much damage. But we can't actually see that properly, but I just hit Garrosh for 70% of his health bar just on my own. My team is dying, but this Genji will... Oh no, he won't. Damn. I mistimed the skill shots, like the Sandblast a bit. Usually when they hit a time trap, you want to start casting your Sandblast when the time trap is like 25% of its duration in. And that way you will hit them right when the time trap will wear off. It will actually seem like Sandblast just passed through them, but it will hit like it will hit the target, like Sandblast will pass, like would collide with the hitbox, and then while it is passing through the enemy, the time trap wears off, and then Sandblast like triggers within them, which is kind of cool when you think about it. And that's actually how you need to be timing your Sandblast in order to hit time traps. It actually can be a bit difficult. So there I found a wild Sonya, I guess, just random Sonyas there. The hacker got a really good catch on Genji. I believe what Genji was trying to do there is maybe like kill somebody with the Zerg damage, because what you can do is dive into a Zerg wave, then you pop your reflection, your protection, right? And because there are so many Zerg and they are all attacking Genji, all of those like redirected hits from his protection go into the nearest enemy hero. So like if you hit Chromie with all of them, it will be a ton of damage. I completely misaimed my Sandblast there. I aimed it a bit to the left, where I should have aimed it a bit to the right, because that was like the retreat path for Sonya. It's actually a bit of a weird camera angle there, like because of that whole top like info screen or whatever it's called. It actually makes hard to see the targets. Oh my god, this Chromie is so awful. She can't even land her skill shots. The Haka, wow, he actually won't die there. That's crazy, and we are still here. We are still here helping our teammates. Look at that, like that's just the damage from Sandblast into Garrosh. But also like they have Rhaegar, so they can do something like that, which is also kind of broken. We have our Huron there, by the way, at level 11. We picked that one up, so now we can kind of teleport to our clone. Sadly, the way it also works is if you use your Sandblast, right, and you get interrupted in the middle of it, your previous clone would actually disappear. Like you have a clone, right? Like let's say I stand here, my clone is there. So if Garrosh is here and I start casting Sandblast, what happens is if Garrosh stuns me, my Sandblast won't finish, but my clone will finish its Sandblast. So my clone will disappear, but the new clone won't spawn, because I didn't actually, Chromie didn't actually cast her Sandblast. So there is just no clone to spawn. And yeah, at this point I was doing 900 damage with my Sandblast. And I mean, that's 40% of our health, or like 35, 40%. Whatever the number is, it's absolutely devastating. I had so much fun this game though, and this is like the perfect variant engage, and that's a dead Sonya. Oh, this is so good. This is such a, like, I just, like this game, like this match was actually what completely sold me on this build for Chromie. Like we by the way got our fast forward, so every time we hit kind of a maximum range Sandblast, it's actually not that difficult to do. And every time we would do that is, I actually mistimed that completely. I kind of panicked because I thought that Rhaegar's cleanse would work, but then I remembered that it's only like 1.5 seconds, and at first I tried to hit Keltas when he was running away, and then I remembered that he would actually get looped because Rhaegar screwed up his cleanse. And I just ended up missing everything. I think my whole team will die here because I'm not able to get the kills. But it will be a good siege for us. We would get a keep. We would get a lot of pressure on our enemies. Garrosh is actually kind of has trouble dealing with the burst characters. Because in order for his armor to work, like you need to take like gradual damage, like over time, right? But because of the burst, like a hit that would do 1000 damage would actually do 1000 damage to Garrosh. Whereas like if Illidan would try to do 1000 damage to Garrosh, it would get mitigated to like 800 or something like that, because Illidan would need to score a lot of hits. But as Chromie, you just dump things like that. Maybe Genji not the best target for Temporal Loop, but in my defense what I will say is I forced him to use that protection. I'm really good at threading needles apparently, like that Garrosh and Rhaegar stood almost point blank to each other, and I somehow, somehow my Sandblast actually pierced them without damaging. You see that? Full health Keltas dropped to 40% because of the clone and sandblast damage. Absolutely devastating. I actually should have hit the timeline, by the way, that's my bad. Oh well, but this is how this game kind of ends, like right here, like they just can't stop us. We just do too much damage, really good engages from our tanks, and everyone just playing almost flawlessly, aside from this Chromie who can't land a single skill shot. But like, how many stacks do we have? We actually can't see it here, sadly. Like that screen doesn't work here for some reason, like that. Oh well. But this game, I just had so much fun. And I was a bit rambly in the video, I guess, in the video. I didn't really say much useful information. I mean, the game itself was really fun, so I feel like that kind of carried this. Because, I mean, that was broken. 44% of Team Zero damage, not too bad for a Chromie. I mean, if the game lasted a bit longer and if it wasn't like so one-sided, then we maybe would have been able to do more things as Chromie, because that's where she kind of excels. Like, if you are stomping the enemies, you won't be landing too many skill shots. Like, there won't be any time to poke when your enemies are dying all the time. And same goes when your team is dying all the time. You probably won't be able to poke either, because you will be dead. But when it's kind of like equal matches, or like when you are sieging keeps, when your enemies siege keeps, like kind of slowly more or less, that's when Chromie really shines. And in this game there wasn't really too much of that, but there was a lot of killing, a lot of damage. It felt really good to play this. And yeah, this is where I like. This match just completely sold me on this sandblast build, like a committed sandblast build on maps where it makes sense, like on Braxis Holdout, maybe like Dragonshire. I don't know why would you pick Chromie for Dragonshire, but if you do, maybe there, or Battlefield of Eternity, I want to say. She doesn't offer too much damage to the Immortals though, so maybe that's not the best idea, but if on the battlefield of Eternity you plan to poke a lot or teamfight a lot, Chromie might be a decent choice. Because again, people will be grouped up all the time, since it's a 2-lane map. I guess on every 2-lane map, Chromie can be very nice. I'm not sure about Towers of Doom though, because like previously the reason she was so good at Towers of Doom is because she could stall forever. But now, because you care so much at landing consecutive hits of your Sandblast, you can't really stall that well, because people would sidestep your Sandblast, like they would anticipate you to interrupt them, so they would sidestep, and then your skill shot misses, and you miss all of your combo stacks and whatnot. But I think she's still pretty damn good. And I think that's gonna be it. So if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, and as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.